today we have the honor of having Mr. David Tutera with us, fashion designer, entertaining expert, author, professional speaker. He had the TV show My Fair Wedding and Celebrations, and a lot of good stuff. Some great books. By the way, the books are on our website. Any of the books that you want to find, you can find them there. And he's going to be sharing some knowledge and insight and some motivation. And I think I might even have a little surprise for him. I don't know, a question or two. So, welcome, David.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and always great to provide as much insight or knowledge. I always say that when I have ideas or thoughts or directions, it's never necessary, not intentionally saying to people this is what has to happen, but I do feel like with 30 plus years of knowledge in so many different fields of our industry, it's interesting to be where we are today, and it's a challenge for all of us. The smallest to the largest, the most successful to the ones that are looking to be more successful, are all standing idle and trying to understand not just what tomorrow is. I think sometimes we often wonder when we start our day what the end of our day will feel and look like. It's become that minute to understanding who we are and who our business is, and what will we do to allow our companies, our businesses to grow. And there is no solid answer right there. I think that every story, every person that's an owner, every single company that's trying to understand what's next has to determine what that is for them. Obviously, everyone on right now and anyone that's listening are in all different parts of the country. And there are different mandates and different details. But the reality is, the one sort of item that's consistent is we are all in a business where we have to remind ourselves that we provide joy. We provide celebrations and joy and fashion and all the things that people have wished and dreamed of since whenever they were a child. And we cannot lose that passion. We may be having a hard day and worried about our bottom lines and our employees, or letting employees go, or trying to keep the lights on. But we have to always have that facade of excitement, like I said, passion and joy, and we need to exude that to all of our clients. They need that more than ever, and they're very eager and wishing and wanting to be able to do all that we do. Bringing people down the aisle for a wedding. I always say, sending a bride down the aisle is sending a bride towards, a new part of her life, but we do it in ways that really make magical moments and dreams come true. So, I want to be able to remind people that our job today is so much more needed for tomorrow. And think about that. Think about, what keeps you up at night and what worries you about how will you be able to give all of that to not just yourself and your families and clients. It's more now, I think, on us than ever before, and we can do it, but we have to do it with honesty. We have to do it with compassion. I think, as I've been doing a lot of Zoom calls and video conferences, I have realized that a lot of people in the world of what we do lost their compassion for their businesses pre-COVID, a long ways back. And I think this has placed them in a position to go, what do I need to do to either move forward, either in the career that you have been in, or into a new career, or pause your career, or think of something new. The reality is that we have to understand, each of us as people, what we want to accomplish for tomorrow for our families and ourselves and our clients. And I ask that question across the board all the time, and everyone has a completely different answer. And I'm more than welcome to hear a lot of those questions and hear a lot of those directions and understand, what can I give to you that I would love to hear for myself as well?
Well, one of the questions I actually have for you, because, we're all in this together. We're all human beings. And so obviously, as upbeat and fun as we all are, especially the planners and the DJs, the people who are on the front lines out there, you're going to find yourself in a funk or anxious once in a while, or even, a little depressed, with the way things are going. How do you cope with that? What do you do to kind of knock yourself out of that funk and present that upbeat and exciting personality that we all come to love and see?
Well, it's not easy all the time, and I'd be lying if I didn't have days that were filled with angst and concern and worry. And, there have been mornings I've woken up and have been overwhelmed with anxiety. And a lot of it comes from what we're all experiencing. Like you said, Kyle, we're all in the same place at the same time. But you do have to lift up your bootstraps. I know it's, a cliche to say, but you do need to get it together. I think that for myself personally in our home, because we've got a 16-month-old and a 6-year-old, we don't have much options. If I was, just with my husband and the two of us go, oh, this is a horrible day, we'll deal with it tomorrow. I'm grateful for my children having to push me, not intentionally, but making me realize I have to be, not filled with fear. I think, fear is an easy emotion and an easy cop out for us to fall into. And I'm not saying fear isn't real.
Oh, no.
I'm just fear needs to not be what catalysts us into, that level of anxiety. So we have to get out of it. If it's gone, we go for walks. We live in a very quiet area. We go for a walk down the street, nothing major. We have been in this house since March 15th. You could tell me it's November, I believe you. But I still love my family, and I still love the excitement of where we're going to go in the future with our careers.
Well, speaking of family, that you brought that up, because you are spending so much more time at home, what have you learned about Joey or Cielo or Gracie that you just found oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever, that you probably might not have found out right away had you been traveling as much as you normally do, but you get that opportunity to just really bond and be there with them? What's some of the cool things that you've kind of come across?
I have come to realize that, I do move quickly in life, and the time here has been, for me personally, a gift of time. And I didn't realize that I could I can get up in the morning, go downstairs, get the bottle ready for Gracie, go upstairs, and I can play with her for a solid 90 minutes and not question like, oh my God, when do I have to stop doing this and get something done? It's interesting that we have made a decision to work like normal people. We in this business don't work normal hours, right? None of us do. So I realized that I can get what I need to get done Monday through Friday. If I have an event on a Saturday or on the weekend, let's say, yes, that's my job, I'll do it. But if I don't have an event on a weekend, we find time to work to try to get ahead of the week forward. The reality is we wind up working all the time. And I'm realizing now that if you prioritize, what's important both on the docket for, events or for, selling fashion or whatever it might be, you have to get done what you need to get done in the time frame you're given, so you can enjoy the life that you're supposed to be enjoying. And us as an industry, we get so passionate about loving what we do for our clients that becomes part of who we are personally, and it doesn't give us a chance to have our own lives.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, we seem to spend 24/7 doing what we do because we love it, and we get out there and just we want to do whatever we can to make somebody's moment, their life moments, their memories, just the best that we can make it, because I feel like it's our one opportunity. Hopefully, generally speaking, they only get married once. So we don't get a lot of repeat clients, a lot of chances to say, hey, you know what? Next year, it'll be so much better. That's not an opportunity for us. So with that, like, obviously you've been doing this for a couple of days now, about 30 years or so. What changes have you seen in the past, and what kind of changes are you hoping for, whether it's because of COVID or just because we've had an opportunity to sit back and reflect? What are you hoping for in the future for our industry?
It's our industry is I don't want to put it in the box and say it's black and white, because it's not. But the
Right.
reality is that as professionals, with whatever division of the business that you're in, we provide a service. So I think what's happened, at least from what my perspective is of what I've seen, is that experts tend to no longer guide and they go into autopilot, and they somewhat dictate what the expectation should be for our clients' projects.
Right.
I think this is the time in life where I'm trying to say kindly is that we need to slow down, and I'm not legitimately saying slow down and be at home, I'm talking business.
Hmm.
Slow down and listen to our clients and try to understand, even if they're not communicating accurately, what it is that will make them happy, what it is that will make their celebrations unique and different, what is it that will stand out so their guests walk away and go, wow, that wasn't just a Saturday night wedding, I've been to so many, this did something to me. So we need to take on a much more emotional component to how we handle our business. And it is one of the things you said earlier, just a moment, Kyle, is that we all do love what we do. So we're passionate about it. And we work so hard. But the reality is, think about this, and maybe not the perfect analogy due to time, but doctors love what they do too. But doctors get days off and they're put on call.
Right.
And they get time to breathe. We have to make our own version of that for us. When are we on call? When do we get time off? And then when do we go back to work so we have more excitement, more passion, and we're listening much more clearly to our clients?
True. That makes a lot of sense, because when it comes down right to it, we do, like I said, love what we do. We love the weddings and our clients, but why are we doing it? We're doing it so we have that time or money or whatever it might be to spend with the ones that we love, our family, our children, our parents, whoever they might be. So to make that balance work is a good thing. So I am going to hold your feet to the fire for 1 second here. Earlier, you had said, not earlier today, but earlier in a past video, that you wanted everybody to come up with 3 items, both business and personal, that they wanted to accomplish. And you said, and you know what, I'm going to do that too. So have you?
I far more than 3. So
Oh, good.
I overachieved slightly. I did 2. What I started from the beginning was I have 2 separate lists. I'm a list person in general. I've always been that way. My mom taught me to be that. And I have a list for personal things that need to be accomplished. It's incredibly long. I'd say that I'm maybe 40 to 50% done, and that's to me not good enough in the time frame that we've been at home. And there's a lot more to do, and I want to get it accomplished. For professional reasons, my list has been about creating new business models. Creating new businesses that can survive when we're all kicked up and running and we're ready to move forward. And I've done a really great job with that. My partner and I have worked very hard on it, and we'll just start releasing these projects probably 2 months after. I don't know if we even can say this anymore, but when we're back to normal, whenever we're back to, we'll start releasing those projects. And I'm excited about that because it's something we wouldn't have thought of or would have done if we hadn't been in this position.
Awesome. So Shelly, who's hanging out with us, she had a question. So I'm going to bring her in real quick, and let her go ahead and ask her question. Shelly, you're on.
So I don't know if I'm verbatim, I typed it in before, but I'll try to do my best to reflect what I was asking about. Is I found that this time with couples that obviously we've had to cancel or postpone some of the events with them, as well as corporate events. I'm part therapist, being the shoulder to cry on. I'm also trying to keep their wedding, even though it's maybe another year out, exciting for them. Not like, oh, it's over and I got to kick it back up this time next year. And then also making myself available without being annoying. I don't want to be like, okay, let's go work on this. So let's just go ahead and jump on that, or get ahead of the game and let's do your floor plan. We kind of know what the basics are. So let's just work on that. Let's keep them interested. But I just don't want to annoy them either, because I'm trying to assess whether they almost need a time of mourning to get over this. I actually do have some clients who are in the healthcare industry, so I know what they're at, where their head is at, and rightfully so. So I'm trying to, what is your gauge on that as far as handling, clients that have different kinds of situations and responses to this?
Well, I think we have always somewhat been a therapist, right? We've always been a therapist, and we've always been, I say, best friend, and we've been, mentors sometimes. I don't think any of that certainly needs to change today. I do think, though, Shelly, you're handling it beautifully. What I would say to everyone listening for Shelly's question, because I don't really have anything direct to Shelly other than saying that it is a very sensitive topic not to over ask and push to get answers. So we have 7 events that all got pushed to 2021, and they range in all different categories. But the reality is the only thing that I've been doing with these clients are sending them hellos, hope you're well, ask about their dad since he's paying the bill, checking in to make sure that life is good in whatever part of the world that they're in. Mm-hmm. And I think that they've appreciated because most, if not all, fairly quickly respond and ask the same question in return because I'm personable and they know me mostly because you could see me on television at points in my life and they think they know more about me than they would about someone else. So I like to keep that dialogue very basic, not about their celebration. If they bring it up, which one recently 2 weeks ago sent a long email to me, it was beautifully written, but it was him expressing as the groom for his soon-to-be wife what he was going through. And I just responded back because now I think we're more friends, and friends for the moment, I always say, and then we move on to our next new friend. But we need to be that friend and less that professional while still keeping a professional relationship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. So the last event you did before we knew we were going to be quarantined and on vacation for a couple of months. And any reflection on that? And I think, is that the video that you sent me?
It's a 60-second video. It was the last celebration we did before all of this happened, and it was in New York. It was at the Plaza Hotel. Is that the video you have?
I have one that says Unfinished Church.
Oh,
and I also have the Alter Fashion Show experience.
You could show the Unfinished Church was last year, but it's a good reflection of what we do. And Kyle, if you want to show that Unfinished Church one, okay. I can set you up what that is. We had to unfortunately postpone our own personal conference that we have, which would have been in March, and it's been postponed now, or pushed, I should say, rescheduled for August 17th, 18th, and 19th in Orlando at the Four Seasons. But we produce a wonderful conference that brings event planners and designers and industry folks into a place for 3 days of full education and wonderful events. And this particular very short video might be something to uplift you and show you the emotion that we carry through to our attendees for 3 days.
All right, there we go. Share.
Surround yourself with people that believe you're great.
Awesome. Very nice.
Thank you. See what we do? We love what we do. I mean, I haven't seen that in a while, and it's nice to refresh my memory of how special it is to make people smile and cry for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think one of the nice things, and I've noticed this with event producers, planners, some DJs, officiants, that we get our emotion involved. And I noticed that with you, of course, in the videos like that. You know what? We're not afraid to cry a little bit, I guess, shed a tear, because there's so much emotion that comes into the production of a life moment like that, a wedding, an anniversary. Somebody has spent 50 years, 75 years together and made those moments. It's nice to see that, from the video with you and of course the other people I've had the pleasure of working with. So, nothing wrong with that at all.
We have to be very open emotionally to be able to do a better job, because what we do is an emotional experience.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So what advice, I guess, would you have for us to make the most of these opportunities right now that we have? I mean, yeah, there's always the downside of something like this, whether it was 9/11 or it's COVID or whatever the life circumstance might bring us. But there's also those opportunities that have come, and what would you say the opportunity we should take is?
The opportunity, besides time, with that time, is to understand perhaps what you may have thought you've been doing wrong or could have been doing better, and what you'll do next that can let you stand out amongst. We have an already cluttered community in the industry. So this is the time not to say rise above it, but to be a better version of yourself personally. And I'm only talking professionally, but personally as a person for your professional use. And what's going to make a client current, but more importantly, a new client, understand why you're that person that they should hire. Not because you've got a great website or not because you've got great, client recommendations. What's going to allow yourselves to be a different person than you were pre-March, whatever the date was that things changed for you. What I'm finding is a lot of people are just sitting and waiting. What's the answer? What's our events going to look like? None of us, including myself, have an answer for that. So instead of sitting here wondering and waiting, try to figure out, is it going to be a 50% decrease, a 25% decrease in space? Are we going to need, no dance floor? If a dance floor, what size would it be? How many people? You have time. Try to understand, be ahead of the game with floor plans and with logistics and the details, so you're ahead of the curve when the curve hits, and then you have the content. The reality is this is the best time, and I've said it constantly, is to be a better version of you. And when you're better at what you do, you're better for your client.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is a huge opportunity right now. Just in Kern County alone, where we are, there's probably several hundred wedding professionals, whether they're caterers or venue owners or event producers or whatever they might be. Yet here's an opportunity that was presented to all of them. And we have 16 people who got up off the couch and took the time to learn, to commune with each other and be together and move forward. And one of the things that I find from a lot of people is we all claim to be leaders in our industry, whatever the category might be. Mm-hmm. This was the opportunity, and is the opportunity still, to actually be that leader and grow and go forward, whatever it might be. So it's kind of exciting right now.
It is exciting. And I do think that I have no shy voice about our industry. I'm proud of what I do in the industry, and I'm proud of the people that succeed, but I also am frustrated by, and for the 16 that are on right now, I think overall the sort of just broader scope is, no one's really held accountable for, the bad work that they do, or hold accountable for the lack of knowledge that they have or education in the industry. So it's one of the few industries that there are so many people in it that I'm not saying are not great at what they do. I'm saying they simply don't know what they're doing. And that makes this industry a harder industry to succeed in, especially if you're someone that's very good at what you do and deserve to charge the fees and the prices that you should be getting. So what I always say is that, just because I'm going to get off this Zoom call and I'm going to decide that I don't know, I want to be an expert in the field of that person over there, I can't just do that. I have to have information and intel and knowledge and have worked for someone that has taught me well. And I hope that that's what happens with where we are today, is that it starts to weed out all the weeds we have in our garden, and it starts to now allow the beautiful flowers to blossom and the other ones to kind of figure it out.
Awesome. By the way, I do have the last event you did in New York. I have the video.
I would love to show that. It's only 60 seconds, and this is the last event that I did.
Oh, this is about 5 minutes long.
You have the 5-minute one?
I have the 5-minute one.
I'm happy to show it. It's epic, that 5-minute.
Here we go.
Go for it.
This is a moment that combines magic and holiness as you both come under this chuppah as two individuals in order to become one. We welcome you to this holy space. And this chuppah, the symbol of a Jewish home, and boy, is this some chuppah. Boy, you are surrounded by family and friends, your loving community, pledge their support for you now and for always. Bruchim habaim b'shem Adonai. Blessed are you and everybody who comes and joins us tonight in the most beautiful and most important mitzvah of the world.
We welcome all of you. It's our pleasure to have you here to celebrate this wonderful celebration.
He looks so beautiful. So many of us are intimately related in one way or another, and there's no place in the world that we'd rather be than here to witness as you enter into the holiness of marriage.
They always said you have to talk from your heart. My dear Karen, it's very difficult. And I was crying under that magnificent chuppah, holding on to your mother and sister. You've always been that very special person.
May your love for each other grow deeper with each passing year. May the bonds between you grow stronger. May God bless you with children who will bring you joy as you have brought joy to everyone in your family.
My 4-year-old daughter asked me, "Daddy, how do you decide on who you're going to marry?" And I was thunderstruck. I didn't know what to say, and thankfully my wife bailed me out, as she typically does, and she said, "You know, Georgie, you marry the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with." And that's it. And to me, that really resonated, and I think that's, so apropos for this moment.
Look at my beautiful wife. Just look at her. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing, and I'm so grateful to my beautiful wife. give me this moment. So grateful. To the break of dawn!
Likes to have adventures, so we're looking forward to many more adventures with you. We love you.
Karen and Eric, I hope your life together is filled with adventure. And Karen, that you find in your Eric what I found in my Eric and what Mom found in her Eric. Happiness, lots of laughter, and love.
Mazel tov! And always remember that the relationship is the most important part of life itself.
Wonderful. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, got your assistant there.
My daughter, CLO, taking a break from homeschooling.
Hi, Cielo.
Say hi.
Welcome.
I'll go see you for lunch a little bit, okay?
Awesome.
The good part.
What's that?
This is the good part about working from home.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't.
And it's funny. I was just telling this in a different style Zoom call. Is that these are the things that you tried to not make happen in meetings, and now it's acceptable because it's real. You know, it's
exactly.
Or your kids walk in. It's life now, and I like it.
I think it's great. You know, we're so professional in what we do that we're all, you know, straight up, got our tie on and whatever it might be, and we don't show the human side.
Correct.
It's nice to be real.
Yeah, it's funny because that's what we're supposed to do. It's what we do, you know, it's our life, our living. So now I think it's going to allow us to soften up a little bit and be less buttoned up, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. And that's okay. Doesn't mean we aren't professional. Doesn't mean that we're not detail oriented and making the right moments happen, but we're real people as well, you know? So I was when watching the video kind of made me think of how do you select the wedding professionals that you align yourself with, the DJ, the florist, the caterer? Obviously you go work with your client as well, but you obviously have some influence over that as well. How do you decide who you're working with?
A couple, it's actually, I think every event is completely different. I mean, the vendors we like to pick based upon, because I do work globally, so there's sometimes I'm going into parts of the world or country that I don't know the vendors, so I have to do my due diligence and find out which ones are best suited for the client. And often I'm working in cities that I've worked in many times before and know which one might be right budget purpose-wise, of course, and then which one may work well with my clients. I mean, you know, DJs and entertainment companies and photographers and videographers have to be a strong connection between the client and them. So, you know, I always make sure that my clients meet those particular vendors. A rental company, it typically would be best on what they provide, what their products and the goods and the prices are, and the client typically would not meet them. We would be making those decisions on behalf of budgetary decisions.
Okay, awesome. Well, does anybody have any questions for David? Like I said, raise your hand and I will bring you in if you have a question that you'd like to ask. Oh, there she is. I was wondering where the screen moved around on me a little bit, so I didn't see where Colleen went. But you have a big event coming up. You said in August, right? At least at this point, that's when we're planning it, or you're planning it?
August 17th, 18th, 19th is the David Tutera Experience, and it's hosted at the Four Seasons Hotel in Orlando. We are very excited. This is our fourth or fifth DTE, and then in 2021 we'll be doing 2 years. So we're excited about our August one because we put so much work, and it is really going to be pretty magical and special and unique. And that's not a Disney experience. It is a epic experience for anyone in the industry, whether they're new or they've been in it for a long time or considering it.
Okay. And that's on your website, I'm assuming, davidtutera.com, right?
That's correct.
Okay. We'll definitely share that link. In fact, I'll put that in the chat room right now so people can have access to that information. And what else is going on? Anything else that you're excited about? Something coming out in the future here real soon?
Just the projects that Shelly and I have been working on, which I won't talk in detail about them, but we're excited because they're going to help so many different people on so many different platforms about building their businesses.
Okay. And then last question I have for you.
Please.
If this is lifted and you have the freedom to roam the world, what's the first thing that you're going to go out and do?
That's interesting. Most people don't know this about me, but I'm actually fairly a big introvert. So this whole being home thing has been very enjoyable for me. I travel so much because that's my job. But if I'm given, 3 extra days to stay in a beautiful, town in Italy, I opt out to go home. So I'm probably not going to change much of what I do. It'll just be more exciting to see people I haven't had a chance to see. I'm a hugger, so I'm looking forward to, just feeling like I can say I love you as opposed to say I can see you, I love you, but I want to be with the people I care about.
There's a certain connection to connecting with somebody.
I think, though, Kyle, what I've learned, and I think many, if not all of us right now have learned, there is no reason why we can't run our businesses from our homes and run our businesses from video conferences. And saving the time to get in a car or on a flight to go take a meeting and return, we can accomplish now. And I think it's now validated.
Yes.
That we can accomplish much more in our lives the way we're doing our work currently than having to waste time on things that we may not need to do.
Shelly was asking, are you going to be participating in Wedding MBA this year?
Absolutely. This will be my God knows how many times. The thing is, for me, I have to keep going, oh my God, I have to make sure I'm not repeating myself each year. So it forces me to really master my speaking appearance skills. And I'm looking forward to being there with everybody.
Awesome. Well, that will be exciting. And maybe, someday we can get you back out here when it's not raining to up to Bakersfield for one of our bridal shows. That would be phenomenal. So other than that, people can get a hold of you, of course, on your website, Facebook. And on our website, we have a link to your YouTube page, your Facebook, your Pinterest, your Instagram, your Twitter. We got links to everything for you on our website. So we just want to thank you so much for being a part of us and inspiring us, whether it's here in person or us being able to just follow you and see the things that you do. You are a leader in our industry, and we truly appreciate everything you do for us.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you everybody for listening to me. I never try to preach that I'm right or braggadocious. I just want to be able to guide. So thank you for letting me do that today with you.
Well, thank you so much, and have a great day and enjoy your family. Thank you.
That's all too. Thank you.
Awesome.